Now, this might come as a shock to you, but I'm a pretty stoic guy. Always have been, always will be. In fact, this is me smiling. Now, but just like normal, regular human people, I too can be emotional sometimes. And sometimes it's an event or a person or a film that sets it off. I'll give you an example. Recently, my mother passed away, and I thought I was holding it together pretty well until my aunt, her sister, called me up to say how sorry she was, and then I just lost it. I could not speak or hold it together at all. Similarly, when my mother-in-law came over a couple of days later to express her condolences, I lost it again. I think it was maybe their essential momness that they have that set me off. I'm not sure. But, films can do that too. They can trigger emotional responses in us all the time. I just read an essay where the writer said that this film, Playtime, the Jacques Tati film, makes him cry every time he watches it. This is like a light French comedy from the mid-60s. So why did this set him off? He doesn't know. That's something for a psychiatrist, I guess, to explain. But this is the Casdoy Closet. I'm Casdoy. This is my closet full of all the stuff they love. And today I want to talk about 3 films that make me cry every time I watch them. And no, it's not these Gamera Flying Turtle films. It's 2 films that are very well known, and one you probably never heard of. Okay, so first up, the films that make me lose it every time I watch it is Schindler's List. Pretty obvious choice, I guess. It's from 1993. Steven Spielberg's masterpiece about Oskar Schindler, who started off as a war profiteer and ended up having a total change of conscience. And he ended up saving many Jews from the concentration camps by putting them to work in his factories, ultimately making munitions and artillery that he made sure never worked. It got a slew of Academy Awards, including Best Picture, Best Director, Best Screenplay, Best Score. Not for Liam Neeson as Best Actor. He was nominated. He lost to Tom Hanks for Philadelphia. I'm not sure I agree with that one, but I think it's Liam Neeson's greatest performance. I can't even imagine anybody else in that role for Schindler's List. So the scenes that really got to me are the ones that probably got to most people, and that is the scene at the very end. Schindler has to flee because the war's over, and he is a member of the Nazi Party, and he's getting ready to leave on a train, and he starts bemoaning the fact that he didn't do more to save the Jews from the concentration camps. Other things he could have done. He could have sold a car, he could have sold some jewelry, and it's really a humbling moment for him. And then finally the coda to the film, where it shifts from black and white to color, and we see all the people, the real people that are portrayed in the film, being escorted by the actors who portrayed them to Schindler's grave, and they're placing a stone on his grave as a sign of respect. And you have the plaintive violin by Itzhak Perlman playing in the background, and I found it very moving and just incredibly touching. And I did show it in my film class a few times. I had to try to keep it together because I don't want to start, bawling it like a baby in front of 40 teenagers, but they seem to appreciate the film also. Next up is Life is Beautiful. Now I know it's another Holocaust-themed film, but more so a father-son type film. It's from 1997. By the way, it's on HBO right now if you want to watch it. It won several Academy Awards, including Best Actor for Roberto Benigni, who also co-wrote the film, Best Foreign Film, and he also directed the film, by the way, and it won Best Score, and I think it's one of the greatest scores ever for a film. So in case you haven't seen Life is Beautiful, it's really kind of a 2-part thing. The first part is him living in this Italian town, and it's a love story of how he meets his wife. It's a lot of serendipity going on. And then it shifts. They have a kid, a little boy together. He's 5 years old. And eventually the Nazis invade the town, and he and his wife and his kid have to go to concentration camps. Now he gets a way to have his kid go to the same barracks with him, and to save his son, who's only about 5, to save his son's sanity and to keep him from being totally traumatized and horrified by what's going on. He makes up this whole idea that it's a game, that they're playing a game and there's certain rules which he makes up on the spot as the film goes along, and that at the end of the game, if they win, he gets a tank, a military tank of his own. And so it's just, the whole thing is really about sacrifice and what the father sacrifices for the son. I went to go see this in 1997, and I didn't know what to expect. It had gotten some criticism and some praise, so I had sort of low expectations, and I was surprised how much I cried during this film. I just lost it, and I didn't know why. So part of me was very emotional about the film, and part of me was very confused about why is this film having this response, this reaction in me. And I thought, oh, it must be because my kid was just born. But then I just realized that, oh, this is in 1997. My son wasn't born until 98. Now, obviously, my wife was pregnant with him, and we knew it was going to be a boy. Maybe that was it. I'm not sure. But that whole father-son dynamic is often a real trigger for me to get emotional in a film. Like I said, this film was criticized, saying it's not realistic enough, portraying the Holocaust. But what can I tell you? It worked for me. And I did show it in my film class. They enjoyed it as well. So my final film of the films that make me cry or blubber, or however you want to say it, every time I watch it, is not a Holocaust film, but it is continuing that father-son dynamic. And it's a film you probably haven't heard of. It's called The Music Never Stopped. Now, this is based on an essay by Oliver Sacks. Oliver Sacks is a neurologist, and he wrote several best-selling books about unusual brain disorders people experience. So this is based on a true story. It takes place in the 60s at the beginning, and the father and the son are estranged. They don't agree or get along about a lot of things in the 60s, like the Vietnam War and social issues, and so they're driven apart. Well, the son, at a very young age still, develops a brain tumor, and because of the operation for the brain tumor, he loses any sort of a short-term memory. He comes back to live with his parents, and now this is his father's chance to make up for what happened and reconnect with his son. But it's difficult because of the short-term memory issues. The only thing that registers for his son is music, specifically the music of his favorite band, the Grateful Dead. And the title, The Music Never Stopped, refers to the title of one of the Grateful Dead songs. So his father, knowing this is my last chance to reconnect with this guy, decides to learn about the Grateful Dead and appreciate their music, and eventually that's how they come together again and communicate. And one poignant thing in it is in 1973, the Grateful Dead keyboardist, who went by the nickname of Pigpen, died, but the son is still stuck back at that time. So when the father and the son go to see the Grateful Dead live, the son keeps asking, oh, where's Pigpen? And then 10 minutes later, oh, where's Pigpen? So his dad has to say, well, Pigpen, he couldn't make this tour. He was sick or something like that. Anyways, I found it very touching. This one touched me also and triggered that response in me. Maybe it's that father-son thing again. I don't know. But you can see this if you have Amazon Prime. You can watch this. It's from 2011. So those are my 3 films that guaranteed to trigger an emotional response in this very stoic space. I'm sure you all have films that trigger a response in you. If you're brave enough, go ahead and leave a comment. Share which ones work for you. Otherwise, leave a thumbs up if you like to. Don't leave a thumbs down. Subscribe would be great. And I want to thank you for watching this video, and I will see you next time.